Hello everybody, my name is Mark Hammond. I want to welcome you to the very first video of our new channel, We Talk Art, where we say the unsaid part about art for artists and creative people. In this video, I'm going to tell you who we are, tell you a little bit about our plans for this channel, and we're going to start you off with something to get you thinking, which is kind of the goal here. So let's roll the intro and get into it. My name is Mark Hammond, and I'm an artist and a business person. I just retired from running the biggest independent art supply store in Northern Nevada, Nevada Fine Arts. If you're ever in Reno, you should check it out. It's a great store. They offer a great selection of art supplies, do fine art reproductions, printing, custom picture framing, classes, have a gallery. It's a one-stop shop for everything creative. Check it out. As an artist, I work in photography. I draw and graphite and pen and ink. I paint, watercolor, gouache, oils. I do printmaking and jewelry. I also have been fortunate enough to have had my art in museums and galleries, and I've sold my art in most of the mediums I work in. I've also owned 2 art galleries, taught art, given talks about art, and have an extensive knowledge of art supplies. My wife, Debbie Wolf, is an artist, art educator, art curator, art buyer, and owned Nevada Fine Arts with me. She works in encaustic, mixed media, and photography, and sometimes all 3 in one. And also had her work in galleries and museums, and she sells her work through her website, galleries, and through an art publisher. She'll be helping me out with this channel, and I'm sure you're going to see her around from time to time. All of this experience has allowed us to meet, talk to, and get to know hundreds of artists, from beginners to nationally recognized artists in many different disciplines. We also have relationships with lots of people throughout the art world. This includes curators, gallerists, art material manufacturers, and more. From our background and these contacts, we've accumulated a lot of knowledge about art, art supplies, techniques, and the business of art. We will use this to pack each video in this channel with important relative information to help you grow as an artist. We Talk Art is our way of passing on all this knowledge that we have acquired over the years. Our goal with We Talk Art is to create a comprehensive channel for artists and creative individuals, offering a blend of conceptual insights, practical advice, and relative information to support you in every stage of your artistic journey. We will be covering information, techniques, inspirations, art materials, and industry knowledge to help you be an artist, make art, and if you wish, sell art. This will be delivered through engaging talks, inspirational interviews, educational lessons, helpful demos, and inspiring on-location videos. Our hope is the channel will also attract an audience of engaged creatives that will be active in our comments and add even more value to this channel. To kick this channel off, I thought I would talk about a concept that's been on my mind for some time and something that challenges me on a daily basis. I believe that most artists and creatives at the end of the week wish they had spent more time making art. I feel like this concept can help artists identify opportunities where they can make more art. The idea is that every free conscious moment in our lives, we have the option to consume or to create. Each of these kind of battle for that limited resource, our time. Yet, if we're going to be successful in creating art, we have to do the exercise of creating. The problem is the ways to consume, the amount available to consume, and the options of where and how to consume have grown exponentially. And let's be honest, it's easy to consume.
Oh no!
When I was a kid, yes, I'm going to date myself here, there was only 13 stations on the TV dial. One of them didn't work, one of them was C-SPAN, and none of them had cartoons all day. Good movies only came out a couple times a year, and although there was printed material around, the availability was nothing like it is now. Furthermore, All of this doesn't say anything about the tenacity of which these media sources push their content into our lives. These industries survive on us consuming, and they have become very good about promoting it. Okay, I'm not trying to say that all consumption is bad. I think it is important for artists to be up on what is going on, what people are thinking about, what they are doing, what is important, what is attracting the people's attentions, and for that matter, what other creatives are creating. It would be very hard to make relevant art if you didn't know what is relevant. To make art that doesn't look dated, you need to know what current is. If our art is to be meaningful, you must know what is important to the larger audience. If you're going to be part of the conversation, you got to know what people are talking about and where the conversation is going. I have to acknowledge that there is a lot of great learning tools and information online, on YouTube, and on other sources. But at the same time, it is easy to fall down that rabbit hole of constant learning and not doing, and never putting the learning into the act of creating. Which brings us to the challenge. We must make a balance between consumption and creation. The reality is consuming is easy and creating is hard. Artwork is work. And I think it is human nature to shy away from things that are hard and that are work, even when we enjoy it. Regardless of how much you enjoy creating, or how it is never as hard as you would build it up to be before you start, it is still an exercise that requires energy, attention, and discipline, meaning that it can sometimes be hard to start, and most of us can only effectively do it for a limited amount of time, especially when your phone is chiming at you and the sirens of Netflix are calling you to binge the next season of whatever. But seriously, most of us can only perform at our peak for a limited time, so when you have the energy, time, and motivation, it is important to create. I find that different artists have different approaches to this challenge. Those that are more disciplined than me may set up a schedule. This is studio time, and this is time for myself to consume, rest, veg, learn, whatever. If this is something that works for you, the trick is making that schedule and sticking to it as much as possible. I am sorry, I can't go to Disneyland now. It is my studio time. I joke, but I really do admire those artists. I think that artists I know, those that can do this, are the most productive. For the rest of us, I think it is important to actively identify free time and when we are consuming, and determine, is this what I want to do right now? Or is this just wasting time and avoiding work? Often, I think we realize your time would be much more fulfilling if you were creating. Admittedly, this takes discipline and practice. But I think the trick is to get in the habit of identifying the time and mentally kicking yourself out of consumption mode and into the creation mode. It might also help to have a list of projects that you would work on if you had the time. Projects that would excite you and would help motivate you into your art space. A common alternative to this is the wait to create for when you are inspired. For me, I do not feel like this is a very effective solution to maximizing my time to work creatively. I believe the reality is inspiration rarely comes before you start to create. For me, it is better to identify that I have the time and I would rather be creating than consuming, and then pushing myself to start to create. Even if it's just practice, sketching, swatching colors, even cleaning my space or organizing my art supplies. Any of these things are sure to manifest inspiration, which is what you were looking for in the first place. Truth is, if you question, am I inspired, as you're pressing that button for the next episode of your current binge series, Netflix has already won. How do you balance consumption and creation? What tools, techniques, or tricks do you do to get you creating? Let us know in the comments below. I hope you found this interesting, helpful, or inspiring. If you like this, all the buttons to show your love are below. Now, go create!